Hi everybody, my name is Lynn Ismael and welcome to my channel. It is September 19th and we are maybe 4 to 5 weeks for our last frost, our first frost here in southwestern Ontario, Zone 6A. And even though that everything seems to be winding down, couldn't help myself but plan for next year already. Now, this time of the year is a great time to reflect on what kinds of plants you enjoyed growing, what kinds of flowers you enjoyed arranging with, because everything is still fresh in your mind. Come January, unless you take really good notes, which I don't, you probably won't remember everything that you thought you wanted to do for 2024. That's why I'm organizing my seeds now and figure out if I wanted to buy more seeds in the spring. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm going to show you first how I store my seeds. I have two of these big bankers box. It's solid, so it protects seeds from moisture. If you have any of those silica packets, I think that would be ideal as well, just to keep the moisture away from the seeds and decrease the likelihood of the seeds viability decreasing, or it just ensures that the seed remains viable until you plant them. So it's called Banker's Box. I got this from Amazon, and it's basically a file folder, of those filing system where you put folders that hang like this, something that you would typically use in an office. I have one for annuals and one for perennials. Let me show you what these look like. I have file folders and arranged alphabetically. So for example, here this is my annuals on, let's see, here, E. Under E, I have my Eustoma. I have it under a Latin name just so it's easier, keep everything consistent. And I don't have much. Oh, I guess I do have some M's. These are Mathiolas, my stock seeds. So yeah, everything is arranged alphabetically, their own little spots, and be covered just like that. This is also a good time of the year to start buying seeds because your mind is still fresh. You'll easily remember what kinds of seeds you have planned on buying more for next year. The garden is still alive, so you can tell which kinds of plants are lacking in your landscape or which kinds of flowers, like in colors or in texture, that is lacking in your arrangement. Buy now ensures that you have the seeds for next year, because you just never know if there are any shortages next year. So if you know that the seeds that you want are available now, get them now, because you just never know what it'll be like next year. Seeds are good for about a year anyway, so or a year or two anyway. Unless they're pelleted, I believe that's just a little bit more short term. But for the most part, seeds last for about 2 years and then if they're stored properly, and then their germination rate will go down. Also, when you buy around this time, as opposed to buying later in the spring, which you still can, but if you buy now, seed companies are less busy, so they ship your seed sooner and your seeds get delivered to you sooner in return. So I made 2 orders from Johnny's. Johnny, they're pretty good. If you start online shopping and you just leave things in your cart, somehow Johnny's system notices that, and then they'll remind you that you still have stuff in your cart. And if you don't, I don't know if that's just how it is, but if you don't check out right away, after that reminder, they'll send you another email to say that you got that they're giving you $10 off for your next seed purchase. So test if that's correct, because if it is correct, if my observation was right, then that's one way for you to save money on your seed order. So let me this one is I ordered this one first before this one, but this one arrived with the with this label that the Canada Service Agency opened it, so I just wanted to make sure that nothing is awry, or it's not wet, or nothing's missing. Everything was okay. So let me just open this. This is a Japanese cardboard knife. It's dull for your skin, but it's very sharp for paper. Okay, so let's get this one here. And as I show you or explain to you what the seed is, I might as well organize them in real time as well. Just put these ones down. All right. So I have sweet black cherry dianthus. It's a sweet William. So it's a dianthus. This is my annuals. I enjoy growing dianthus because they make great focal flowers in the spring when there's not much focal flowers growing yet. They provide that function. So dianthus goes here. This year, my favorite variety of dianthus is the Amazon purple. So, I mean, I've tried sweet. Not sure. Well, the first flush is great. The second flush, they're small. So I'm hoping that that next year I figure out how to grow them better, so that I get big flushes every single time. I have Fama white. Did I get Fama blue? Oh yes, I do. So for next year as well, I'm gonna concentrate. Well, I'm gonna make it a point to grow more perennials, just because it's a lot easier. Well, once the perennials are established, it'll be a lot easier for me to maintain a garden when I don't have to worry about planting annuals all the time. And at least with perennials, they will, well, for the most part, they'll keep coming back, and I don't have to disturb the soil as much. So 2 perennials that I got is Fama White and Fama Blue. They're both of the Scabiosa flower. And I'm hoping, well, if I seed them now in the spring, they usually won't flower, although I did plant some Scabiosa seeds that I started this spring, and it started flowering now in September. Just one of the 6 plants that are in my garden right now. So hopefully next year those plants will be blooming next year, and then I'll have this one to add in addition to those first ones that I got. So that's Scabiosa. I got some amaranth. They're fun. Amaranths are fun, but they're fun. It's just nice to have an option when you feel like you want some drama in your arrangement. It's great I found that I gravitate using them with sunflowers, but now that it's fall, I haven't really used them as much. But here I got 2 types of amaranth. I have hot biscuit and velvet curtains. So something more for the fall, because the ones that I grew this year are more like hot pink and coral, so they're not really, well, maybe I haven't really tried arranging them with fall colors, so I should make a note of that. But anyway, I got hot biscuits and velvet curtain to add to my collection of amaranths. So I got some Didiscus too. No, I know I got lazy lavender, but did I have the pink one? It doesn't look like I got the pink one, but lavender blue lace hibiscus. It's I guess its name now is Trachymini corelia, and it's umbel shaped flower that I first grew this year, and I really like it. It's stayed in the vase for 2 weeks. I remember that. It's very pretty form, nice contrast. The blue contrasts nicely to the pinks and yellows, and they seem to like dry soil or tolerate dry soil. So I want to grow more of it and make sure that I save a space for these ones because I ran out of space this year and I just planted them in containers. But next year I want to plant them in the soil and see how they do. Although they did pretty good in the containers, so maybe I'll plant some in containers and some in the soil or in the ground anyway. I have two types of asters, China asters. I got the Aster Hagen light blue and the Valkyrie aster. I have an old packets of Valkyrie aster. I don't think, well, none of them germinated properly because I guess it's a little bit old. So I'm gonna try the Valkyrie one again. And I enjoyed growing asters this year. They last really long in the vase and they seem to tolerate dry soil, drier soil. So I'm gonna grow more of these. Got two types of Scabiosa. I have the Black Knight. This is my first time. Next year will be my first time growing it. It's a little low in germination, 63%. In this one, on Black Knight, and then Oxford Blue is 66. Although last year they did say the same thing, but that's why I overplanted them, but all of them germinated. So maybe I'll be lucky and they'll do the same thing as well. I do enjoy the form of the Scabiosas. I like the wiry stem and how it bob and adds movement when you move them. Thing was, I grew the red one, Fire King Scabiosa and Salmon Rose Scabiosa, but I was drawn more in the Oxford Blue. So I think for next year, I'll just grow more Oxford Blue, and I'm gonna try Black Knight, just so I have more options for dark flowers. So I got these two. Oh no, that's the perennial. This is the annual. This is an annual variety. I tried growing mountain mint last year, or this spring. They sprouted, but they never got bigger. They didn't survive long enough for me to transplant them. So I'm gonna try again. Well, I heard that they're good for fillers and they can tolerate part shade, so that would be useful. This is a perennial, so I'll put it right here. The scientific name is Pycnanthemum. I enjoyed planting Monarda, the lemon mint bee balm this year. They're great for fillers, so I bought more seeds just in case the seeds that I got don't have great germination. At least I have this one as a backup. Okay, so on to the second order from Johnny's. I got the Gloriosa Double Daisy Rebecca. I think this was on sale, that's why I got it. But I grew them. I grew these types of seed last year too. Oh no, I didn't grow Gloriosa. I got Goldilocks, but they look similar. So I wanted to see how they compare to each other. Oh, 36 to 48 inches tall. All right, that'll be interesting. So Rebecca, there. I got pink Sunday salvia. It's an annual salvia that hummingbirds love. I grew a pink one this year. Not the pink Sunday. It's a different variety. And for the most part, I enjoyed that one too. But this pink Sunday, it's got some green veinings on the petals. It says 62% germination plus 3% hard. What does that mean? Well, I guess we'll find out. Salvia. I got another Dianthus. It's an Amazon Neon Rose. The Amazon ones bloom later than Sweet William as I understand it, but they have bigger blooms, so I am all for that. A few asters. Like I said earlier, I enjoy growing asters, so that seems to be my modus operandi. I like something, I buy more of it. Anyway, so I've got one, two, three, four. I got four asters. I got Tower Silver, Tower Salmon, Tower Blue, and Tower Violet. Hopefully you guys grow very well. I have another stock. I have a lot of stock seeds already, but this one I think is new. It's called Anti-Grow Stocks, SDOX. Did I enjoy growing stocks? Yes, I did. It can be overwhelming though, the scent, if you mass them all together. But one or two, maximum of 3 sprigs, 3 stems per arrangement is good. Otherwise, more than that, I find that it can be overwhelming. But I enjoyed the smell. I'm sure, hopefully I'm putting it the right one. Yeah. Anyways. Right. Oh, another Rudbeckia. Oh, this is the perennial Rudbeckia. This is Rudbeckia triloba. And they're more like a spray form. If I grow them along with some echinacea, I think that would look well in the garden. It's 88% germination, so that's not bad. And there are 100 seeds there, so I am looking forward to growing this one. Jeez, bird just flew into my window. Is that okay? I think I should check on that one. I don't see any dead bird on the ground, so I think it's okay. Got another eryngium, the blue glitter eryngium. Grew a few eryngium seeds earlier this spring. They didn't bloom this year, but they will hopefully bloom next year. And I think I only have one blue. It's not blue glitter, it's another variety that has bigger blooms, but this one, blue glitter, has tinier blooms. So I'm going to grow them this spring, and then the following year, so 2025, I should have some blue glitter flowers. Oh, another aster, Tower Chamois. But a celosia. I grew celosias this year, not very successfully, because I think I grew them too late and I kept them in their little soil blocks too long. I believe you have to transplant them, and because once they're stressed, it'll stunt their growth. So for next year, I would have to make sure that I plant my celosias earlier. Let me see what it is say here. Well, it said 6 to 8 weeks before last frost date. I seeded mine 4 weeks before my last frost date, so that was too late. Probably this spring, next spring, I'll plant it more like 10 weeks, and then try and make sure that they get a lot of space in the pot, or put them in a container with a lot more soil in there, just so they don't get too stressed. Or maybe just do it at 8. I don't know. I'll figure it out when the time comes. Got another status, Secret Purple. My status this year didn't do as well. I don't know why. So I have to figure out why they didn't grow as well. Maybe it's just the variety that I grew that's not as prolific as the ones I grew the year before. But it's fun just to figure things out like this. This is Limonium. I'll put it here. And 2 Snapdragons, Avignon Pink. I believe this is new at Johnny's. And Madame Butterfly Rose. I think I'm gonna be growing Snapdragons forever. They're the ones that got me hooked in cut flowers. Okay, so this is from Veseys. I bought a seed from Veseys. Aster seed. Oh, did I get everything? Yeah. And it was the best performing aster this year for me. And that was it's in the Chrysanthella series, and it's called Flamingo at Sunset. I still have some from this year, but I just want to make sure that that I don't run out, I guess. So this is Aster, the Flamingo at Sunset, Reach Out White. Oh wait, no, that's not an aster. So the 4 aster varieties, like I said, Flamingo at Sunset, Winter Look, Love Me Tender, and Limoncello. So they're all from the Chrysanthella series. And next year I have to make sure that I label what kind of variety of aster it is, because I got the Tower series and the Chrysanthella series. I am curious which one do better in my soil. So there you go. I got also a Polypelargonium Reshelled White, something with container, and I think they might do well as a houseplant too. So maybe I should. Well, I could grow them now and see how they do. And they need 12 weeks before last frost, so they are going to grow really, really slow. It says it's an annual. I'll keep it an annual. Pelargonium. And I got a butterfly flower carmine rose. I grew a Asclepias this year too. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, the Apollo orange. This one is tender perennial zone 7 to 10. If it gets mild this year, maybe the ones that's in the garden will survive the winter. But if not, I got more seeds there, and I'm hoping that it also self-seeds as well. It looks pretty in the landscape, and I was hoping to use it for cut flowers, but it's usually surrounded by bees and hornets and wasps, and hummingbirds love them, so I couldn't get myself to cut them. So I figured if I plant more of them next year, then I won't feel so bad cutting them for my own enjoyment. So I will be planting more of that Apollo orange next year. But I also got this carmine rose Asclepias, which is more hardy to our zone, perennial from zones 3 to 8. So I got I'll have 2 types of Asclepias for my little friends in the garden. One more. Oh, this one is from Floret. They had their hardy annual online sales in August, so I took advantage of that. They have really cool varieties I saw on the website. I didn't buy that many. Only bought 6 seeds because I had most of the ones. I have a lot of hardy annuals already. Nicely packaged too. So I got a Nigella, Love in a Mist transformer. I have Nigella forming like self-seeding freely in my garden, but this one had a different form that I'm interested in seeing in person. So I bought a seed packet. I forgot to mention, right now I'm just sorting this, and at the end, later on this year, after I dug out my all dust and they're all stored, I will come back and do the inventory. So I'll start a spreadsheet so I can keep track on what kinds of seeds I have, and then included with that would be how soon I should be sowing them so that they're ready for planting in the appropriate time. I got 2 poppies, Icelandic poppies. This is Sherbet Mix and Pastel Meadows. I grew Iceland poppies this year, and I like them in the garden, but when I tried using them as a cut flower, they didn't last long. That's because I didn't sear the ends. I didn't know that you have to do that. So next year, I'll try them again and see if that searing actually helps. I got Emerald Beads cress. I think that's my most favorite type of cress that I grew this year. I've got a lot that has self-seeded, so I'm hoping they will come back next year. If not, I can start these one in the indoors in the spring. And Clarkia, this is Tower Coral. So it looks pretty. I enjoyed growing elegant. I enjoy growing Clarkias. I planted them too late this year, and they enjoy the cold. So the sooner I plant them early in the spring, so like maybe even 8 weeks before my last frost, better they'll do, I believe. So I'm excited for this one. And birdseed poppy and frosted salmon. And the last package is from William Dam Seeds. They're a Canadian company, and they're the only ones that I've seen that have cocoa gold and cocoa yellow. They're really good. I'm growing cocoa yellow this year, and they look really good in the garden. They're huge and they last long in the vase. So cocoa gold and cocoa yellow, and they can tolerate drier soil conditions too. So that is why I want to grow more snapdragons. Let me put this down. Well, I didn't realize that my camera stopped recording, and I've already sorted the rest of my William Dam seed order. Let's see if I have the list. Oh, I do. So, we left off with the Marigold Cocoa Gold and Cocoa Yellow. I also ordered Snapdragon Potomac Royal, which is this one. And Potomac series is the type of snapdragons that can tolerate heat. So they will bloom from spring to the end of summer. Well, until now, actually. That's why I enjoyed growing them. And they have a lot of color varieties that you can choose from. But I don't have a deep berry Potomac variety, so I got one. I also got two Dianthus. And I realized that I must have really wanted the black cherry variety because I got another one. So I have sweet black cherry and the sweet neon purple. Sweet varieties will bloom sooner than the Amazon. And I think from Gardener's Workshop that it's rounder in form. Although from my experience, they only do one big flush of big ones, and then somehow they don't do it in consecutive round. So it's not really cut and come again if you want those big flushes of focal size flowers. How many seeds per packet? 12 to 15. Maybe I'll plant them in successions. I'll try that. So at least every few weeks I get big flushes. If they reflush again, then great. If not, then I can just take them out and plant another plant. Dichondra Silver Falls. This one here. I read a book by Beth Chatto, The Dry Garden. And in there I read that she used Dichondra Silver Falls as a ground cover. Dichondra is usually used as a trailing plant for containers. They're good in dry conditions. I want to see how they perform in my dry bed. We'll just trail around the ground and hopefully make a good, nice cover. And then I got another type of milkweed. This one is the Silky Red. So next year, I'm going to grow 3 types of milkweed. Got the Hollow Orange, the Carmine Rose, and the Silky Red. So if they all grow well, then I'm expecting a lot of hummingbird activities in my garden next year. So I'm excited about that. I also got cover crop. This is the fall biomax from William Seeds. And it's got oats, crimson clover, Polish radish, and lentils. I bought 2 bags of these. I already opened the first one and I've planted some parts of my garden where it could use some more organic material. And I'm hoping that it will work. So there you go. Hope you didn't find this video too long. I create content related to gardening, hoping that maybe I can inspire some of you to start gardening as well, or grow your own flowers and make yourself happy. If you like this video, feel free to press the like button, and I will see you again next Thursday. I try to show up here every Thursday, so until I see you again, bye.